Hello there guys, Wayne from Luna's World. Welcome to X-Plane 11. Welcome to a video where we are checking out the latest update of Skymaxx Pro. This is Skymaxx Pro 4.8 and there's a bunch of new features that we're going to be checking out. This video is going to come in two parts. We're going to do a VR version as well coming soon. But for today, we're looking at the flat screen version. And yeah, just for your information, we're at Heron's Nest, which is some freeware add-on scenery by iBlue Yonder, very worth checking out, link in the description. And we're going to be flying the Piper Cub, of course, with the Tundra tyres. And look at those sky structures up here, very nice indeed. Let's head on over to the app and check out what is on offer. So this particular page is what we usually faced with. And let's just turn a few of these things on. This hasn't changed really at all. Let's just apply that. In terms of the previous version, 4.7, this has not changed at all as far as I'm aware. So what has changed though are the textures. So if we click on Cumulus, we now have the ability to change between these 6 different textures that are nicely depicted here. My only qualm is that if you look at the difference between this picture, for example, and this picture, they look identical to me. So why don't we check on Swept and see, keep an eye on the sky and see if there is any change, because I cannot see that in the actual image here. Just hit C. So I guess they're a little bit more see-through. A little bit more. Let's see, they're still building, I think. Maybe a bit more sort of haze and mist around the edges of the cloud, perhaps. I mean, they do look very nice indeed. Let's go back to soft and click apply. Hold that image in your head. Let's see how it differs there. Take some time to populate. Yeah, I mean, this looks slightly more solid in structure, maybe. Okay, let's try fast. Now, fast, I think, means in terms of frame rates, hit on frame rates, perhaps. Guessing here. Okay. All right. Well, let's examine a bit more. Let's put this back to. Let's go Turbulent. And we have the same, exactly the same thing here for Overcast. Let's close that one. Let's play around with this now actually, because I do have a couple of things that I want to share with you that I don't like about it. Let's come out of that. I'm just going to go to Overcast here, but there are some things that I do really like. So let's go to Solid Procedural. I'm not actually going to see this properly. Let me take off, guys. Let's get back in. Let's jump into the cockpit and we'll look at this properly while we're in the air, because that is, of course, put some flap out. That's what where we're gonna see it the most, rather than the ground. So again, this video is concerned primarily with the sky and checking out the new features of Skymaxx rather than the flying. So please do not grill me over the fact that I might crash many times along this flight. But this is a very fun airport, or airfield I should say. Okay, so straight off the bat, I mean, look at in terms of the depiction of Overcast, that is really, really nice, because it's actually incredibly hard. And again, we'll do an experiment here. I'm going to turn off Skymaxx Pro and we'll just compare this to default depiction of Overcast, and as you can see, is rubbish. It really just doesn't do the job in my view. This doesn't look overcast at all. You know, if all this was blended in, I mean, this looks like clear sky here. It just doesn't work. So this is a nice solution to get solid, overcast, smoothly blended, that just looks really nice. Let's change the lighting conditions, and you can see the sort of softbox effect of that. And maybe we'll even climb up into the cloud. Let's put our flaps up here. But yeah, I really like that effect. I'm not going to compare this to X-Enviro right now because there's an update coming out for X-Enviro and I want to wait for that to come out. But yeah, really like that depiction of overcast. And let's maybe change some of the textures here. So if we go to the overcast setting, we have 6 here. Now, I don't think these images really do it justice, if I'm perfectly honest. Let's click on broken. What you'll see is some beams of light, some areas of light coming through, which sort of indicates that there are there's more broken sort of cloud within an overcast sort of scenario here. So for example, to draw your attention to this area right here, this is sort of showing that there is some areas of clear sky or broken overcast. If we go back to this, that should disappear, and there you go. So now we've got no areas of light coming through apart from off in the horizon. So this gives us a bit more. Soft SD, standard definition, I'm guessing, is going to give us a smokier sort of effect. Now this is where the problems start. It's okay when the sim is paused. This is all looking good. There's a slight sort of banding effect here, which is not particularly great. But when I unpause and when I move my head around, you can see that the lighting changes underneath. Can you see that? So we're back to this sort of same old issue of panning around the virtual cockpit. Let me just change something on here because I'm noticing quite a lot of... Is this gonna... No, I thought that might cure it, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So while it does give you a nice sort of low visibility, foggy kind of effect, panning around in the cockpit is not great, if I'm perfectly honest. So that's a bit disappointing. And look at my frame rate is halved. Oh, that's because I hit VSync. So let me let's just not hit VSync. So we're maintaining 63. Bearing in mind there's no scenery around here really. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that banding. That's kind of a bit weird to me. It doesn't look great. Hoping that'll be different in VR maybe. But let's click on this. Let's try Turbulent. Just come out here. Now again, we do have that banding, but the blending is a little bit better. Let me just make sure I haven't got anything else running in the background, because I do have, as you know, ultra weather. Now I have got that running, so that may well be interfering with it. So bear with me guys, we might well have solved that problem. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Unfortunately not. No. So we do have that issue of panning there. That is annoying. Let's check one more thing. Is there anything in here that needs to be on to stop that from happening? Path rotation speed. Blending is quite high. Apply. Let's have a go. Oops. Alright, well, we've come out of the cloud now. I mean, that does look really nice, I have to say. I'm liking that. That's a good overcast clouding effect. But anyway, you saw the issue there, which is a bit of a shame, really. I thought they would have addressed that. Anyhow, right, let's try some other cloud effects here. Just pause when we go nose down. So we'll go broken, and then we'll mess around with some of the cumulus cloud options here. So let's go turbulent. Again, let's unpause it, and they'll take a while to build. But I mean, visually, I mean, it does really look nice in the distance there. I have to say, that does look really convincing. Got a rotating cloud there. That's probably because I've done this, so we'll get rid of that. Turn that off. Let's increase this and get a bit more blending. We can afford to with our frame rates here. Don't know if we'll see much difference in terms of frames. 70. Okay. I mean, the clouds off in the distance, the blending, that does look really nice. I have to say, it does look good. There's Heron's Nest over there. That's our runway. Alright, well, let's try adding in some precipitation. Now, it does say that this is fixed the precipitation within VR, so that's something I'm definitely going to be checking out in the next video. But for now, let's increase that. We'll go heavy rain. Moderate, that'll do. And of course, you do get sounds with Skymaxx as well. Although I have got the sounds turned down quite low, so you might not be able to hear that. But, I mean, that's pretty convincing. In terms of rain. That kind of works. Okay. Alright, so let's increase the, or decrease I should say, the cloud coverage. We'll go to Cirrus, and then we'll mess around with the Cirrus textures here. So let's try ridges. Let's give that a go. And we'll just see how that depicts. Unpause. It'll take a few moments for it to draw. And they're pretty faint, actually. Okay, they're very faint. Okay, there's some up there. I mean, sure, they look fine, I guess. Not many of them. Let's try another texture set. Just a few. John's favourite. Let's try John's favourite. That's got to be a winner. They're not very pronounced, I have to say. Maybe it's my internal settings. Let's just mess around with this. Okay, let's try scattered. But we should be seeing cirrus clouds. Some clouds building there. So yeah, so that's not really what we want. These are cumulus clouds, by the looks of it. Let's go back a notch. In fact, let's customize this. Let's add some more in. See what that does. They don't look like cirrus clouds to me. Okay. Alright. I mean, the cloud textures are nice, and we do have some... is that... Yeah, okay, that's Cirrus clouds on the windows there being reflected. Not sure about that. Okay, that's better. Alright, that's nice. That's nice. I could live with that. Let's just try a different time of day. That's cool. I mean, yeah, whatever. That does look pretty nice. Okay, let's go back to, let's add in some scattered, and then we'll have a wee play around with cumulus again. Let's try stormy. Just increase the light here. Okay. Alright, I mean, what can I say, guys? I really do think that, I mean, the sky textures are very nice. They're not volumetric as far as I know, and you can sort of see that in this sort of image here, especially in this region. They look a bit flat, but when you turn down the lights, when you get all cozy in your cockpit, I mean, that does look pretty nice, I have to say. But there's still some issues. And I'm going to check out, obviously, in the next video about the VR version and seeing what fixes they've done there. But I don't think this is a huge update by the sound of it. Again, I'm hoping that the update is going to be in VR, and that this will be a mere sort of footnote in terms of the update. And it's all about VR. I really do hope that's the case, because my first impressions here are that, well, I mean, I cannot complain, because right now, look at that. That does look really good on the screen. But there's some rotation, there's some weird fog effects, and of course when you turn your head, there's some things that just are not very agreeable in terms of the fidelity and the visual sort of experience. And if I've got something wrong in the settings, forgive me, but I don't think I have. I did have ultra weather activated at the same time, so I obviously corrected that, and we still had that persistent problem there. So yeah, I don't know what to say. If you've purchased this as your main weather depiction software, then great. You know, it's you get some more textures, you get some an easier way of navigating to those textures through the updated user interface, and hopefully, as we'll see in part 2, that we get a better experience in VR, in which case then this is great. But I don't see a huge impact in terms of the visual fidelity, in terms of the flat screen version. So we'll see. But anyway, let's try and land this thing, guys. I hope you found this video somewhat illuminating. But yeah, I don't know what to think, really. First impressions are, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm hoping in the back of my mind that this is all about VR, and they fixed a bunch of stuff, as well as giving us some extra textures. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for a second while I try and perform this quite tricky landing here at Heron's Nest, and I'll put the link in the description of where you can download this from. Oh, I'm actually landing the wrong way, but anyway, let's try. I'm landing into the slope, which is not advisable. Crunch. There we go. A terrible landing, but we are down. Guys, I'll see you in part 2. We'll check this out in VR, and I just really hope that that's where the goldenness is within this update. I'll see you very soon. Let me know what you think in the comments. Cheers, guys. Take care.